Hi, everybody. This is Mark Stolzenberg. I'm the director of the New York Acting School for Film and Television and the CEO of Circle of Life Films in New York City. And this is part of our series called Fascinating Actors. This is episode 2, where I'm talking to and interviewing very interesting, up and coming, brilliant actors who have worked with me. And we're trying to find out what makes these people tick and a little bit more about the whole process. And today we have our guest is Gaurab Bhattacharjee, who is working as a professional actor now. And he studied with me for a couple of years, actually. Never acted before in his life. Studied with me for a couple of years, and he's out there auditioning. He's in SAG. He's going for it. So let's start out by just tell us something about your background. What was your life before acting?
Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me on this on this podcast, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my name is Gaurab Bhattacharjee, and I have, as Mark said, never acted before. I had a completely different life. I spent a lot of my career at Wall Street. On the technology side as well on the business side. I ran a few portfolios over there. As I was doing my career, I never really thought of acting, to be honest, before a few years ago, when I thought I was tired of running deals and making businesses, and I thought maybe I will explore some of my creative side. And then that's what got me started. So my background is in the business, is in Wall Street, is in tech, and not in acting before I started with you.
What made you? What gave you the impulse to try acting? I mean, why didn't you pick up a clarinet and take lessons? What motivated you to say, maybe I could be an actor? I mean,
in like most of us, right? And in high school, I did act, and I did Shakespeare and others, but it was deeply buried inside me for decades. So when I did get that creative bug, and I was looking for an outlet for my creativity, I thought I might see what I can do if I can go to a class, work with you, Mark, and folks like you, and see if I have it in me. And that's what got me started. And I think I still recall the first time I came to your class, and it was raining that day. And you had the studio was a walk-up, and the elevator was not working that particular day, and like it often doesn't.
Not anymore. I'm in a different place now. I'm in a great building with a great elevator now. So, but I know my old building was not great. Yeah. Okay.
No, but it was a great lesson. I did walk up the stairs, and the first day, first class, with zero experience in acting, you put me in front of a camera and asked me to say one of your emotion lines, and I think it was, "Hey asshole, who the fuck do you think you are?" And I felt myself in my element then. Actually, I channeled the effort of walking up the stairs. So I was huffing a little bit. I also had a bad day that day in my work, and there was dealing with some difficult person at work. And I channeled all of that and into that, and I think that came out well. And from that day onwards, I think I really got interested in acting and learning from you, and got really into the thick of it.
Well, yeah, I have to say right from the beginning, I saw tremendous potential that you had. And Gaurab is such a brilliant actor. He memorizes things quickly, and he's able to make quick choices and just come right up with things. And I noticed that about him right away.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think you already sort of talked about it, but what else? Anything else about your sort of journey in the learning the technique of acting and studying with me and all that stuff that you might want to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. I think you have a phenomenal way of getting the best out of people, and all of us, when we first start with you, we're nervous, we don't really know what we're doing, but you guide us through the right channels, and work on our strengths, and try to encourage us to do and hone in on our strengths and double down on it. And with you, I've learned how to improvise, how to deal with different kinds of emotions, and how to channel emotions, how to structure emotions in different acting scenarios, how to audition, how to deal with cameras. And one of the things that you highlight is the difference between a stage acting and a film acting, and how to work the camera, how to look into the right parts of the camera, create a space. All of that things have become extremely valuable to me as I progressed as an actor. And to be honest, I from zero to where I am today, it didn't take me that long based upon the fundamentals. I mean, I've been doing this about 4 years or less from where I was, and today I'm somewhere. But working with your principles and the guidelines that you have provided has helped me to accelerate into a much better place that I am today than I could have done it without that.
Yeah, very nice. Great. Yeah, you're a quick study, as I said before. Gary, we actually started a production company together, and I was very attracted to Gary's skill as a businessman because I'm very deficit in that area. And so he's what is your title? You're the business executive for the Circle of Life Films.
Yes.
And so I'm the creative director, the CEO, and Gary's the business executive. But we've produced several films, a lot of films, not just several, but I don't know, maybe 20 or so. And Gary did major roles in several of them. You did Actors Anonymous, you did Strangers in Love, and you did The Blind Detective, big roles in all three of those. Want to talk a little bit about some of your experiences, maybe your favorite moments in the films as an actor?
Oh no, absolutely. I think so. The first one that my first ever movie was Strangers in Love, and you put me there, and it cast me in Strangers in Love. I think a few months into my studying with you, and this was the first time I was ever on a set. And luckily, that movie got critical acclaim, and we won an award for that movie in a short film festival. And this was the movie that I learned on how to be on set and how to be in front of a camera and take everything that I learned in the class into an actual practical movie. So that has always will be my most memorable movie. But after that, as you said, I did take part in a few different projects, and all of them were exciting. The writing was phenomenal, and that made it a lot easier for me to explore the character that I was portraying as a principal, as a lead, whether it was Blind Detective or Actors Anonymous, which we just released this year, to take these movies to somewhere where it actually becomes very relevant in festivals. And some of our movies are in Amazon, and they got accepted in Amazon Prime Video. So that also gave us a lot of visibility, and also gave me a lot of visibility into this space as a lead actor in some of these movies.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Did you have any boing moments in any of the films when you were working? Like, oh my God, this is great. Like sort of where you the lights went off in your head or something because you were just kind of having fun or something, or just having a moment?
No, absolutely. I think all of these movies had some very favorite, situations. And most of these movies have the working in the set has been phenomenal, right? And working with all the cast and the crew. So a couple of things that I can think of. Was working on the Blind Detective, movie, and there I play a psychotic individual, uh, and, and I think I took it a little bit further in terms of making pranks on the set, and to the beyond just what's there on the script. So Mark, you and others filmed all of that and made it part of the movie. So that was a phenomenal idea. It gave me a lot of latitude to express and improv, on pranking different things on the set, because my character itself was a psychotic, guy in that. And yeah, so there was another movie that we made, which was I think it was called The New Man, where
Right.
where we the premise was about there's a pandemic which hit, lo and behold, hit the world, and all the men died.
Isn't that weird that we shot that movie like 2 months before the pandemic hit or
Exactly.
something?
It was signed.
I mean, I was psychic about that. I had no idea there was a pandemic on the way. And I made this movie about a pandemic. When I think about that, it freaks me out.
It was so pristine. And the funny part of that movie was, like, myself was the person, the only living human man who was alive, and who would then get, go into a chamber and get transformed into a new man. But I had to play a rustic, mechanic from Philadelphia, and so myself being a person of an Indian origin, right, trying to play a redneck guy from Philadelphia was itself a very interesting character choice. But it made me do things in a very different way, and it was tremendously fun playing that character. In that particular movie. So yeah, all the movies, we had lots of fun in playing and experimenting with different characters and principles and things like that.
Great. Right? Yeah. So Gary's has played a wide array of characters in New Man, and in Actors Anonymous, you were the you sort of were the, what do you call it, the director of a support group for actors.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And, I was the so I'm a washed away attorney who can't stop acting, and I'm heading this group with a bunch of other actors who can't stop acting. So it's a phenomenal movie about different characters coming together, all nuts, including myself. Trying to get away from our acting bug, which is very interesting. And I played the lead role over there as a judge who can't get away from acting, and acting ruins everybody's life. So it's a great character to play.
Right. Wow, that's great. So that's the amazing thing about Gary. Never ceases to fascinate me. He has such a diverse background, and he's able to also transform himself and play all these different characters and different looks and types, which is really amazing. What do you see yourself doing in the future, moving forward? What would be your dream job in acting?
So I mean, my career actually took off with, from starting from your class. I mean, I within a couple of years, I got accepted in SAG, and thanks to your nominations and other things, right? And right after that, about a few months after that, I got represented by a management company, and I got exposed to that management company again through your network and class, and that. So I'm represented. Unfortunately, when my manager, which is Talent Express, signed me off, 2 months after that, pandemic hit. So the Bollywood shut down. So it was a terrible timing. But things have started to get back up again, and I'm doing a lot of auditions
Yeah, and did you do an appearance on The Good Wife or something like that?
I did. I got a few credits thanks to my management company. I was in Good Life, the last episode on the previous season. I got a bunch of callbacks, and I have a few other different credits on TVs and big time movies. Most recently, I got a call back for a particular movie which was being produced by Nicole Kidman and Zoe Saldana.
Wow.
And I also got a call back on a couple of other TV series just very recently when things have started to catch up again. So yeah, it's been pretty good. Great being represented by my manager, and she's phenomenal. She's put me in touch with a lot of different opportunities but to answer your question, I do want to be in the big screen, in a lead principal roles, and things have started to move forward in the right directions. I've done a lot of independent movies. I've done some bit roles in film and TV, but ideally, if I could land a meaty role in a feature film and in a big production, that would be great. And I think things are just with so many channels out there today with Netflix and HBO and all these other things. There's opportunities are tremendous.
Yeah. Well, also you should consider yourself lucky that you really started acting after the pandemic hit. So I mean, like a guy like me, I've been acting for like 30 years, so I'm used to going to a studio and meeting a casting director and being live and going through all that live interactive stuff. And when the pandemic hit, it was like I was lost. I was like, oh my God, how do I deal with this? So it took major readjustment for me and a lot of other actors to get used to self-taping and virtual auditions. But for you, it's all you've ever known. So it's good for you.
Yeah.
It makes it easier in a way. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think the whole now everything is self-tape and an EcoCast, and now nobody sees you in person except after a callback. In fact, right before the pandemic hit, in fact, my first audition, maybe it was second or third audition from my manager, was for Blacklist. And I remember that because that was the last time I actually was on a set and doing an audition. And it was in Midtown. It was in February of 2020, February 15th or so, some mid-February. I auditioned. They gave me a call back, actually. And but that was the episode when they shut down in Hollywood, right?
Oh,
so
God.
in fact, so what happened was I didn't get the job. I didn't get that job. However, what they did was they didn't even cast the whole episode. They couldn't, because it was shut down. So if you recall, that was the only episode of Blacklist which was aired where they replaced humans with some stick figures and some cartoon characters, if you recall. I think I was pleased to see that I was replaced by a cartoon character. I did lose out to a cartoon character. It was a phenomenal thing. But yeah, you were right. It was. I recall that because that was the last time. I was on a physical set on an audition. After that, everything has been virtual.
Oh, very interesting. Well, good luck with everything moving forward. I'm sure there's big things in the future for you. And if you want to contact Gaurab, is that the right pronunciation? Gaurab.
Yes, Gaurab Bhattacharjee, yes.
Gaurab Bhattacharjee. You can contact Talent Express. They're a big management company in New York. And if you'd like to take classes with me, it's the New York Acting School for Film and Television. And our website is actingclass4film, F-O-R, film.com, actingclass4film.com. And, well, it was great talking to you, Gary. And I'm sure there's big things ahead for you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I mean,
Okay.
this wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you very much for
Okay.
having me on the show.
We'll see you on the set, won't we? Okay.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you on the set.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Thanks.